Laziness is a state of mind. It is an attitude. It is something that gets cultivated over time. Now, there are people who do have a propensity for being lazy, and others have a propensity for being doers, but you can rewire your mind. You can retrain yourself. You can renew your thinking to become someone who is more action-oriented, because it is things that we think, believe, and do right now that reinforce our laziness. They reinforce our apathy, our lethargy, our indifference to things. As I said in the first episode, there are those who are truly sluggards. There's a difference between being just lazy and being a full-out sluggard. Sluggard is the person who literally desires nothing. They don't have a desire, so they don't want to do anything, but a sluggard is not going to be watching this video. A sluggard is not going to be following my Facebook page. Now, a lot of people who desire things, who have dreams, but don't feel like they have the willpower, they will be watching things like Mental Motivation because they want to change. They know they are their own problem. They know. They might put some blame elsewhere, but deep down, they really know they're the ones who are standing in their own way. And one of the big things is laziness. I mentioned the proverb that talks about the man who puts his hand to the bowl, but then doesn't bring it back to his mouth. He's too weary to bring it back to his mouth. Isn't that funny? Well, it's true, because take it into the larger sense, and what you see is half-completed projects. Things that you make a good start in, right? You reach out for something, but you don't follow through. You don't bring the fork back to your mouth. And so things are undone, and you never really move forward. Yet all the while, you still have that same craving. All the while, you still have that same desire. You see, for a lot of people, work truly is a four-letter word. Laziness is a state of mind, and so is being work-oriented. Work is a good thing, and that's something you need to learn. It's not bad to love work. You're not going to be a workaholic just because you love work. Yes, there are people who are trying to escape life for bad reasons. They spend all their time at work. They're stressed out, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about maximizing your life through the vehicle of work. Work is what proves us. Work is what develops us. Work is what teaches us things. You need work. You need that labor, especially when it comes to developing the things you desire in life. When it comes to fulfilling your dreams, when it comes to the career that you always wanted, or, whatever that goal is that you're trying to achieve, work is what proves us. It's what makes us stronger, and it reinforces a type of belief and orientation to life that will cause you to go to do greater things. You will increase exponentially. You will multiply in your effort simply because you learn to love work. I don't hate the word work. I love the word work. There's so much it's done for me. There's so much it has created for me. And obviously work takes all sorts of forms, right? There's all sorts. Even kids at play, it's a form of work, right? Totally invested in the moment, focused, developing, working on something. You need to transform the way you see the idea of work. Work is a good thing. Work will help you out of where you are. So if you're ready to find that better self, then realize that it's going to take more than meditation. It's going to take more than visualization. It's going to take more than the things that you say. It's going to take how you think about work and taking the action. So work, in a sense, is almost a doctrine. There's a doctrine of work. There is an established belief system regarding work. Anything great in life is done by work. Anything worthwhile is accomplished by work. If you look at all the great things that have been achieved in the past, everything that it has attached to it is work. Nobody's done anything of significance that did not have work attached to it. Now, maybe you haven't pushed yourself to the limits that we're talking about. Maybe you feel like, well, hey, CJ, I go to work every day, work 5 days a week, maybe do some overtime on the weekend. So I do my thing. Well, okay. But what do you do when you get off? Do you work then? I'm not saying don't spend time with your family. I'm not saying don't spend time with your loved ones. But are you investing more into making yourself even better? Are you investing more into accomplishing the goals that you've always had that you don't realize yet? They're not there. They're not manifested in your life. And so are you going to invest in those? You're going to dedicate yourself to working in order to achieve those things? Or are you just going to remain where you are with all of this potential, never having developed it? Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter what your circumstances are. There was always something for you to do. There's always something for you to be invested in. There's always something for you to take to the next level, to reach higher for, to do more about. But none of that is going to happen until you change your belief about work. Work is a good thing. It's not something to dread. It is not something to dread. It's got to be something that you love. Learn to love the idea of work. And a great way to do that is by attaching it to something that you love already. So if you love, you have certain desires or cravings in life, then attach the idea of work to them because you already love those things. But know that they are the end result of happy work, right? They are the end result of joyful work, the kind of work that you can be invested in and you won't be watching the clock all the time. That kind of work. You can experience that. It's really not as difficult as you might think. As long as you're focused on things that are productive, and as long as you're focused on things that can create the desired outcomes, you're going to learn to love work. Can you dig it? I hope you can.